Hey guys, welcome to my first ever Halloween tutorial. So I'm starting off with a plain face and then I'm just going in with the MUA Hydro Skin Define Hydro Primer. I'm just popping that onto my face and rubbing it in, just to give our face a nice canvas for all our products to go on top. So then for foundation, I'm going in with the Loreal Infallible 24-hour foundation. Can't remember what the name is of the shade, but it is a bit too light for me, which is why I thought it would be perfect for this tutorial. So I'm just popping that on my face and then blending it out with my Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. And then I'm going in with the Manic Panic Dream Tone liquid foundation on top. This is just a stark white foundation and I'm just popping that on top of the other foundation just to give myself a real white cast effect. And then for the base of our eyes, I'm taking the Benefit Stay Don't Stray eye primer, just popping that onto my eyelids and blending it out with my fingertips just so that all the shit that we put on in a minute will stick down to our eyes and have a nice base to grasp onto. So after that, I'm just going to set everything down and I'm taking the RCMA no colour powder to do this. I'm also taking this on a Real Techniques powder brush, but any face brush will do obviously, and I'm just setting that down by dusting it all over my face. So after that then, I'm going in with the Freedom Brow Pomade and I'm just carving out my brows. Even though I'm a zombie bride, I wanted my eyebrows to be on fleek, so I am taking this Annie Morphe angled brow brush and I'm just carving out my eyebrows, but I am making them a little bit darker and a bit more bolder this time, just to tie together with the whole look that I'm going for. So after you've done your brows, I'm jumping into this iMagic palette. This is basically a dupe for the Makeup Forever Flash palette, but the difference is this cost me £7.99 on eBay and the Makeup Forever one is something like, I think it's like 50 quid, if not more. But I'm just taking the black shade from the palette and I'm just putting that all over my eyes. I'm basically putting it all over my face in a minute, but I'm just putting it all over the sockets of my eyes, just to make them look more sunken in. I wanted it to be really dark, really smoky. So yeah, just rubbing that, blending that all into my eyelids, and then I'm just shading down underneath my eye as well to make myself have under eye circles basically. Normally I want to cover them, but today I want them dark. So after you finish that with your eyes, I'm just taking the same shade and I'm just carving out my cheekbones, doing a little bit of contouring with that shade, just to give my cheekbones a nice sunken in look. And then I'm taking it up onto my temples and up onto my forehead. You can do this wherever you want, guys. It's wherever you want to add shade into your face basically. There is no right or wrong. It is all down to personal preference, the shape you want, how dark you want it, you know, it's completely up to you. So then I'm taking a mix of the black and the red and I'm just mixing that together to create a nice bruised effect, and I'm just dabbing that on top of my forehead and down by the corners of my lips, just to bring it all together. I wanted a real like bruised, like yucky effect. So then I'm taking the same combination and I'm just popping that onto my eyelids again, blending it on top of the black. This way it will give me a nice purple tone, but yeah, as you can basically see, I'm just blending that onto the mobile eyelid, and then I'm also shading that underneath my eye as well to give it that the same effect as the top. So you want to just keep doing this, guys, until you are happy with the colour, until you are happy with the positioning that you have these colours in. Also, this palette is a cream kind of base as well, so it blends really nicely. As you can see, I'm only using a small brush and I'm not having no problems blending anything out. So I'm just bringing all the colours that I mix in together up onto my forehead, round to the middle, and then I'm also going on top of my lips to give my lip a nice dead look. Then I'm just shading underneath my lip as well because I wanted the effect to be like it was like dirty and just minging. So I'm just going back and forth with the colours and a beauty blender, blending everything out, making sure it's the colours that I want. Then I'm taking a mix of the MakeupGeek eyeshadows in the shades BITTEN and Mars, I think the other one is, from the Mandy MUA palette, and I'm just going on top of the colours that we just applied with them shadows, just to set them down as well so they don't crease, and also add a bit more colour, a bit more depth to the look. And then I go back in with another MakeupGeek eyeshadow. This is Corrupt. It is a matte black and it is very, very pigmented, so you don't need too much of it. I put a little bit too much on because I kind of just covered like the purple that we created underneath, but I wasn't too sad about it. I quite like the effect it gives. So yeah, I'm just going on top of everything that I've done with that shadow, just shading everything in, and basically setting it all down so it doesn't crease, so it doesn't move. And I'm just using my fingers to blend out any lines, and then also taking my sponge to blend out my contour a little bit more so that it's not as harsh. Then I'm taking the NYX, I can't remember what liquid liner this is, the Vivid, I think it's the Vivid, I don't know. But I'm taking the NYX eyeliner just to darken my lash line up. I'm just drawing a thin line, no wing today, just a thin line that stops at the outer corner. Just drawing that, and then I'm going in with the Zoeva Graphix eyeliner in the shade Black to Earth, and I'm just using this to tightline my top lashes, and I'm also using this to apply to the waterline, but I am bringing it quite thick because I wanted that, I didn't want no skin showing, I wanted it all to be quite black. Then I'm just going on top of that with the brush that we used earlier just to smoke it out and blend it all out. Then I'm going to be applying some mascara, and this is the L'Oreal Volume Millions mascara. Just applying that to my lashes, top and bottom. And then after you've applied your mascara, you're going to go in with some false lashes should you want to. Today I'm taking the Mandy lashes in the style Bombshell because they are nice and dramatic, nice and thick. They are my favourite lashes at the minute, so I'm just popping that on. And then after that, I'm taking the Gerard Cosmetics lipstick in the shade Cherry Cordial, which is obviously a nice cherry colour. It's like a nice deep wine, bloody type of colour. And I'm just popping that onto my lips, not being careful about my application because we are going in with the same brush in a minute that we use to do everything else on our face. And we're just going to smudge the hell out of that lipstick, making it as smudgy and as messy as you can possibly get it. So don't worry about the application beforehand. Then after that, it's time for the fun part. So I'm taking two types of blood today. They're both by Ben Nye. One is Thick Blood and one is Stage Blood. So the Thick Blood is kind of like it's like a gel paste, more of a liquid. I'm just taking that on a spatula. I'm just dabbing that onto the areas that I want some blood. So I'm popping it onto my forehead. I'm also popping it onto the corners of my lip as if we have just like ate somebody, that kind of effect. But this blood is a little bit bright, so I go back and forth, adding a bit more blood, and then I'm popping into the palette again and taking a mix of, like, you know, the black and the red colours that we used. And I'm just going around the corners as well, you will see in a minute. But at the minute I'm just building this type of cut scab effect that I want by going it back and forth into the thick blood, this little pot. And I'm just dabbing that on with my spatula to make it nice and lumpy, as if it was like scabs on your face or like little clots of blood. That's the effect that I wanted. So I'm applying it to the outer corner of my lip first, and then I thought I wanted it to be more like in the middle of my lip, and eventually I do cover most of my lips with it. But as you can see now, like I said earlier, I'm just going back and forth into the palette and just darkening the edges of that blood up. By here I'm taking a mix of brown and black just to make it look a bit dirty, a bit more shade, a bit bruised, all that type of effect, guys. I'm sure you've seen this a million times before. You know the effect that I'm trying to get, and it's just basically trial and error. I'm going back and forth until I'm happy with the final result. I'm also using my beauty blender to blend all of the cream products that we're putting on out, just to make it a little bit softer, to make it blend into my skin, you know, to make it not natural because zombies ain't real, but you know what I mean, to give it a bit more of a natural effect rather than just an effect as if we've just applied it to our face. So now I'm taking the Stage Blood. This is more of a runny blood, and I'm just like using a cotton bud and applying that to the areas that I want it and letting it drip down to give it a nice dripping effect as if it was fresh blood. And then I'm taking a mixture of the scab blood as well, and I'm just mixing the two of them just to create the kind of look that I want. And then I'm just taking a little sponge and stippling that out. Once you've done the blood, guys, that is the final step of the tutorial. All you need now is your costume and your veil, and you are one stonking looking zombie bride. let's try and get this shut off. Okay.